Alright, hi parents, this is a quick video, hopefully it'll be quick, on updated information that Senor Perez and I have found out. We had a meeting this morning with Mr. Harding and the rest of Cottonwood Plains, and we found out new information, so this is a video to help share what we learned, but also hopefully answer some of your questions you've had. You're also watching the second time I've done this video because the first time, for some reason, it didn't record the audio, so hopefully it's a little bit more refined. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick overview of what the next few weeks look like. So if we look at March 16th through the 20th, that was your spring break. Teachers weren't expected to work, and kids weren't supposed to expected to work because it was break. From the 23rd to the 27th, so just last week, that was considered extended spring break, and that was to give the district time to put things together for the teachers. So TSD Learns was optional. I know a lot of parents were antsy and were wanting to get their students started with a schedule right away, so Senor Perez and I did kind of jump the gun a little bit and give you a lot of information and resources, but that was optional. So if you're a parent who did not have your student online and doing the Google Classroom or TSD Learns last week, don't feel guilty. It was completely optional. It was extended spring break. So district was working this week on getting us a plan. Now we are on April 30th through the 3rd. So this is considered online learning using TSD Learns. So this is the week that they're giving teachers to finally plan. Now that they've made their resources and their expectations for us, now they're giving us a week to plan and put together material. So if you already were doing TSD Learns last week, you'll be doing it again this week. Your child can choose between TSD Learns or Google Classroom. I know some parents are doing exclusively TSD Learns, some parents are doing exclusively Google Classroom. Your choice, whatever works best for your family. So Senor Perez and I will be working really hard this week to put plans and online learning lessons together. And we're also doing a lot of professional development so that we can learn how to do those things. So we'll be pretty busy this week getting things put together. Starting on April 6th, that is when remote learning begins. So that's when officially classes start. The district wants us just to review material that we've already learned in school. And we're going to be going over maybe those things that students didn't quite get or the tougher material we'll be reteaching. So we will be doing that starting on April 6th, where learning will be completely on Google Classroom. So I like to think of TSD Learns as kind of the placeholder while district got it together and put their stuff together, and then while the teachers are planning and putting their things together. That was what TSD Learns was for. Now, starting on the 6th, we will be moving to Google Classroom, and Senor Perez and I will be creating lessons and teaching them on Google Classroom. That will be going on from April 6th to April 17th. So I'm going to move this over. Then we are expected, right now the school is only closed till the 17th. On the 20th, either we're returning to school or we're not. So if we aren't returning to school on the 20th, then new material will be taught online. And I don't know yet what this will look like or if we are returning to school if we're not. So that's just up in the air. That's what it is right now. But from the 6th to the 17th, we'll be remote learning on Google Classroom. Hopefully that made that a little bit more clear. I know that a lot of you were thinking that on the 23rd we had to get started, but again, that was extended spring break to buy the district some time. So, okay, let's see. All right, so frequently asked questions. We know you have a lot of questions, and we have a lot of questions too. We're going to do our best to answer those questions. Below this video, there will be a link for you to ask all of the questions that you want to. And then I will compile them together into a document and post it on Google Classroom and on ClassDojo for you to reference. So I know instead of me and Senor Perez answering the same question 40 different times to all the different parents, we want to put it all in one place so that you can go and use it as a resource to help you. So also you can fill out this Google form more than once. So let's say you post a question and you send in the Google form. But then 20 minutes later you're working with your student and you have another question, you can keep filling out that Google form and asking more and more questions. And it'll just send it to my email and I'll start compiling it into a list. Some things we just won't know the answer to yet, but we will try to give you the information as soon as possible. There's a lot of things still up in the air, as you can imagine. All right, here's some frequent questions I've had that I really wanted to address in this video specifically. So I've heard a lot of, there's so many accounts, there's so many things to keep track of. How do we know where to go or what to do? So the big ones we've been talking about are ClassDojo, Clever, and Google Classroom. So I just want to clarify what all of those three things are. Clever is actually a portal where students can access everything. So it's a really cool website where students just have to log in once and then they can get onto any other website that we use in school through Clever. So it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll show you here in a little bit. All the school websites that they've used in school are on Clever, including Google Classroom and Google Email. So they should be able to access that. Clever, to log in, they just have to use their Google email and their password, which I think almost everyone has. I either sent it on the blue card, or if you weren't here on that last Friday of school, I have sent it over ClassDojo with the parents. Again, if it's not working, or if you don't have it, you have to send Miss Cook a ClassDojo because they'll be using it all throughout the next couple weeks. So they need to have their Google email and password. Once they log into Clever, they should be able to log into everything, except for those couple websites I posted where I gave my own username and my own password. But everything else should be on there. So the difference between the three is Clever is the portal where they can get on a whole bunch of different websites. It's one place they can log in and then get to a whole bunch of different websites, which I'll show in a second. Google Classroom is where all their assignments and announcements will be posted. For sure, starting next week is when Senora President are actually creating lessons, and we'll be posting them on Google Classroom. And then ClassDojo is just an app that we've been using to communicate with you. So it's a messaging app for parents. Really quick, let me show you what Clever looks like. Okay, so go back. Okay, so when you go to clever.com, this is what it'll look like. Your kids have been here a million times, but I understand that sometimes we forget what we're doing, especially when it's at home and it's different. Up here in the right-hand corner, it says login as a student. Obviously, your kid would pick that one, but I choose teacher and administration. Mine just automatically logs in, but normally a box will show up right in the middle that asks if they want to sign in with their Clever badge or if they want to sign in with their Google email. We did not print Clever badges. Clever badges are this little card that kids can hold up to a webcam, and it takes a picture of it and logs them in. But obviously, a lot of parents don't have webcams or that type of equipment, so I didn't worry about Clever badges and instead just gave them the Gmail email and password. So that's what they'll use is they'll click on sign in with Google, and then they'll have to type in their Google email and their Google password, which they should all have. Once they get onto Clever, then it just has all the apps that we've been learning and using in school. So, for example, Splash Math is a really popular one. iReady reading lessons, Imagine in Spanish. There's a bunch of different websites that they can check out. Then it also has all the Google apps so Google Classroom that they use all the time, Google Drive, Google Docs. All of those will be right here too. I also posted a previous video last week that showed kids how they could get into Google Classroom another way. Either way, doesn't matter, whatever works best for them. But this is where a whole bunch of learning apps are, so they can use any of those. They've used them in school, almost all of them, and they can use them at home as well. So Clever is just the portal for them to log into it. Okay, let's see. Should have this already. There it is. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies some things a little bit. Next week, everything will be on Google Classroom. All right, how much time should we be spending on distance learning? This is kind of a question I've had myself, but the district clarified it for us today. So right now the district recommends us teachers to create 30-minute lessons, and then students practice that skill for 30 minutes. So an hour for every subject area. So 30 minutes of teaching, 30 minutes of practicing. So for example, I'd post a 30-minute math lesson video, and then the students will practice that skill for 30 minutes. We have math, English literacy, Spanish literacy, and then science and social studies are worked into the English and Spanish literacy. So Senora Perez is the main science and social studies teacher, but I support everything she's teaching in my teaching. But that doesn't mean I'm reteaching what she taught, but I'm supporting it and adding more so that the kids get experience in both language with the subject. So we're not sure how this is going to work with dual language because students that aren't in dual language will have an hour of math, an hour of English, and then probably an hour of science and social studies. Okay. And then, but we don't know for sure how that's going to work with dual. We don't know if they're expected to do an hour in English and an hour in Spanish. We're not really sure. So once we find out, we will update you on what that's going to look like. For this week, I would say I would recommend about an hour for math, an hour for reading and writing in English, and an hour for reading and writing in Spanish. This won't work for everyone. Some of you can't do 3 hours of learning a day. Some of you have to share your equipment. There's many different reasons, but that's okay. Do the best that you can, and we're all learning and all figuring this out. So let me know what problems are coming up in your home, and maybe I can help you brainstorm ways to fix that. But for right now, that's kind of what I recommend. And you can break it up across the whole day. You can get it all done in the morning, whatever works best for your family. All right, so here's some new information that we learned today. CMAS, the Colorado State Test, has been canceled. Yay, I'm doing a happy dance. I'm sure your students will do a happy dance as well. And then also the district assessments, so like the math unit tests we would have, those have been paused. So I'm sure the more information with that will be coming later. We will not be making up the time lost by adding on to this school year or returning to school earlier next year. So the weeks that we are missing out of school, we will not be making up. Usually Colorado has a certain amount of hours that you have to get in with students every year, but obviously this is a unique case, so that will not be made up. All right, I wanted to also add that I'm going to be adding resources to Google Classroom for offline learning opportunities. I know a lot of parents want to restrict how much screen time your student is having, which is completely understandable. So I want to give you some offline learning opportunities. I'm still working on that because I want to find things that are meaningful and actually helpful. So right now the district expectation starting next week on the 6th is that I would teach 3 math lessons, 3 English literacy lessons, and Senora Perez would do 3 Spanish literacy lessons. We're not sure if that's how it'll work with dual, but for right now that's what it's supposed to be looking like. Again, this could change, but for right now. Also, I had a lot of kids request that they wanted to communicate with each other. I know they miss their friends. So just an update on that. I did post a link to Google Classroom that they can use. It's called Back Channel. And I am also logged onto it, so I can monitor what they're talking about. I do request that you have a conversation with your kid about what appropriate online talk looks like and behavior. Then also, another student gave me an app called Messenger Kids. This is an app you can download on your phone, or your kid can download it on their iPad or whatever, and they can talk to each other through that. I will not be able to monitor that. That'll be completely up to the parents and, yeah, to your discretion. So I'm not in charge of that at all. That's just an idea. If your kid wants to talk to their friends, that's one way that they could do it. And I did post a link down here at the bottom if you want to check it out. Okay, office hours. So Senora Perez and I needed to set up office hours just like you guys need to set up different times for between work and home life. We need to do the same. So we did choose from 2 to 3 p.m. every day. We're leaving that time open for phone calls if you have questions, if you need to meet with us. And if that time doesn't work for you, I know a lot of you are still working, send us a message and we can schedule a different time. But Senora Perez and I will be still in meetings all the time, and we have to do a lot of professional development classes. So for right now, that's what works for us, and just send us what works for you and we'll try to work it into our schedule as well. So we also were required by the district to create a Google phone number. So this isn't if you have my actual phone number from like when we did the field trip or things like that, I'm going to be using this instead. So if you could update your phone and use this phone number instead. Same for Senora Perez. I know a lot of you have her personal phone number, but we are required to use the Google phone number. So if you would update this too, so that when we call you, you can see that it's us also, because I know the area code on both of ours is pretty weird based. It was just how Google set it up. Just to set some boundaries, please do not message us on the weekends. That's our own personal time. And please do not allow your child to video call us regularly. I've already had that happen quite a few times. But we have a lot of things going on right now. So they need to set up an appointment. They can email us like, hey, Ms. Cook, would you be able to talk on the phone with me at 2 o'clock or something like that? Or you can message us on Class Dojo. But I want to be accessible as possible, but I also need to create healthy boundaries. So as long as, you're free to message us throughout the work day, but just please be respectful of our time and things like that, and not having your child call us regularly. Okay, and on that note, we are not allowed to video conference with your student alone. That's a district policy. So if your student does want to video chat with us, and we've set up a time, you have to be present for that. It cannot just be me and your kid. So otherwise, most video calls will be with multiple children. So it can be me and like 6 other kids, or Senora Perez, me, and your child. That's fine. It just can't be one-on-one. So that's just a liability thing and a rule for the district. So just please keep that in mind. Senora Perez and I will be calling everybody from 3A and 3B on Friday, April 3rd, just to check in, answer questions, see what your situation with teaching at home looks like and what we can do to help. I'm going to be posting a link to a Sign Up Genius that is posted underneath this video. So you will just click on it. You'll pick a time that works for you on Friday that you'd like to talk on the phone with us. We did split it up, so I will be calling the 3B class and Senora Perez will be calling 3A. So for 3B parents, could you please sign up on mine? Sign up, and then 3A students, can you please sign up on Senora Perez's? Except for, in 3B, I have a few parents that exclusively speak Spanish, and unfortunately, I am not bilingual. So if you do speak primarily Spanish and you want to have a Spanish conversation, just sign up on Senora Perez's link if you are from 3B, but you need to have a Spanish conversation. So there's that. Parent email. We are sending all parents an email today to get into touch, and I'll attach this video in as well as all the other links that you'll need. We just ask that you please check Class Dojo frequently. We'll be posting announcements on there, but we also want your child to be checking Google Classroom regularly. Okay, this week again, they're mostly on TSD Learns because teachers are planning, but eventually Google Classroom will be our main mode. All right, additional information. Lunch distribution. If you still need to get lunch from the schools, there is a link right here that you can follow. I've been asked that what are kids without internet or technology supposed to do, and we found out today that they have created learning packets, so it's paper packets for students without internet access, and those will be distributed at the same schools that are doing school lunches. So you just need to check out this website above to find out what schools near you can go to get those paper packets if you don't have access to the internet or to a laptop. All right, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay, because we are too. I'm sure you can probably even tell from me making this video. We really are going to try to take it slow and make it as easy as possible for you and put all the information easy to follow and in one place. Now I know right now it's a little scatterbrained and we will make mistakes and there will be things that we need to fix, but for right now we're going to try to make it as easily as possible. A stressed parent can't teach a stressed kid. It's impossible, so just make sure to take care of you and your family first. Your happiness comes first, for sure. Your big takeaways. So what I want you to get from this video today is that this week students are expected to be learning from TSD Learns, or they can do any of the fun websites we posted on Google Classroom while me and Senora Perez are planning and doing classes and are in meetings. Starting next week, April 6th, Google Classroom will be our #1 mode of learning for students. So again, think of TSD Learns as the placeholder to that bot district time to get things together and the teacher's time to plan. Please feel free to contact us. There's no such thing as a stupid question, but it will help us work more efficiently if you do check the frequently asked questions section on Google Classroom, which obviously I haven't posted yet because I only have a few questions that you have sent us so far, but once more of you have filled out that form, then I will create that and you'll be able to check that resource out. So let's see. All right, so here's your to-do list, parents. You got a job. So watch this video. Yay, you're almost done. I got a couple more things to talk about. Fill out the Google form about your technology needs. This is from the district, and the link will be below. Please fill out the Sign Up Genius for when you want to talk on the phone on Friday with us. If you have any questions, please fill out the parent question form. Link will also be below. This is optional, but your feedback is really important. And there's been so many things like, wow, I didn't even think about that. I don't have kids, and there's a lot of things that I just didn't think about. So your feedback is really helpful. All right, so then also have your child working on TSD Learns this week or exploring any of the lessons we posted on Google Classroom, either one. Try to set up a regular schedule to minimize stress and set expectations. And I did post suggestions for a schedule on Google Classroom. Do you have to use that? No. Use whatever works best for your family. And also, could you please accept the invitation to join the Google Hangout Meet that Senora Perez posted on Class Dojo? I think she passed it on Google Classroom too, and then she also sent it to your child's email. So the Hangouts will be tomorrow and Wednesday, I think, for the 2 different classes. The link to these slides I will post also with the videos in case you don't want to rewatch this whole long thing and you just want to find the information in the slides. So again, hopefully this was helpful and not more overwhelming to you. Please ask questions and feel free to post your questions on that link that I'll be posting below. But I'm here to help you, and let me know what I can do. Hopefully I will hear from you soon.